Welcome back to the channel Coins Buyers, another exciting deep dive into the fascinating world of rare coins, where small pieces of metal can sometimes be worth a fortune. And today we are uncovering the incredible story of the 1969 D. Roosevelt 1 dime from the United States, a coin that on the surface appears like any other ordinary 10-cent piece you might find in your pocket change. Yet it has been valued at an astounding $67 million because of its extraordinary and rare minting errors that set it apart from the millions of other dimes struck in the same year, making it one of the most sought-after treasures in numismatic history. And as we unravel the secrets behind this remarkable coin, you will understand why certain flaws and mistakes in coin production can turn a humble coin into a priceless artifact. The 1969 D dime was minted at the Denver Mint, indicated by the small D mint mark on the obverse side just next to the date. And while billions of Roosevelt dimes have been produced since the series began in 1946 to honor the late President Franklin D. Roosevelt, only an incredibly tiny handful have the specific combination of errors that elevate their value into the tens of millions. And among these errors is the highly coveted mint mark misplacement, where the D is either doubled, repunched, or struck in a position slightly off from where it should be. A detail so subtle that most casual observers would never notice it, yet seasoned collectors and error specialists know that such a variation is the difference between spending 10 cents and holding a piece of history worth more than a luxury mansion. This 1969 D dime also carries with it the allure of possible double die obverse features, where the design elements such as the lettering in Liberty, the motto, In God We Trust, or even the numbers in the date show signs of doubling caused during the die-making process, creating a ghost-like shadow effect that gives the coin a unique and unmistakable look under magnification. And these doubling effects are treasured by collectors because they occur due to mistakes during hubbing, a process that was not easily detectable at the time and thus slipped past mint quality control, allowing only a handful to enter circulation. Beyond these known errors, there are rumors in the numismatic community of a few specimens showing planchet anomalies, such as being struck on a slightly undersized or oversized blank, or even on a blank intended for a foreign coin, which would create slight variations in weight, diameter, or metal composition, further increasing its rarity and value. When you combine a mint mark error with doubled dies and potential wrong planchet strikes, you end up with a coin so rare that collectors and investors alike will pay astronomical sums to add it to their holdings. And that is exactly why the 1969 D dime with these characteristics has reached a jaw-dropping $67 million valuation at high-end auctions and private sales, a price that is light years away from its humble face value of just 10 cents. Now, many people might wonder how a coin like this could slip through the mint's careful processes. But it's important to remember that in the late 1960s, the United States Mint was producing billions of coins annually, and the sheer volume meant that occasional mistakes were inevitable, and those errors, once in circulation, could pass through countless hands for years before anyone spotted their significance. In fact, many of these rare dimes might still be out there today in old coin jars, forgotten drawers, or even pocket change, waiting for the sharp-eyed collector to notice the telltale signs of rarity. If you ever find a 1969 dime with a D mint mark, take the time to examine it closely under good lighting and with a magnifying glass or coin loupe, because you could be holding a coin that is one of only a few known examples in the entire world, and the financial windfall from such a find could be truly life-changing. Remember that the coin market values rarity, condition, and historical intrigue above all else, and the 1969 D dime with its mint mark error and other potential mistakes checks all those boxes with flying colors, standing as a testament to how imperfections can sometimes make something far more perfect in the eyes of collectors. And that is why stories like this continue to captivate audiences, inspire treasure hunters, and keep the passion for coin collecting alive, because somewhere, perhaps in your very own pocket or in a handful of change you get from the store, there could be a small silver-colored disc that is worth more than most people will earn in a lifetime. And that is the thrilling magic of numismatics, the intersection of history, artistry, and pure chance, all captured in a single tiny masterpiece from 1969 that forever proves the old saying true: one man's dime can truly be another man's fortune. Everyone to another exciting deep dive into the fascinating world of rare and valuable coins. And today we are uncovering the incredible story of the 1994 P. Roosevelt 1 dime from the United States, a coin that on the surface appears to be worth just 10 cents, but in the right circumstances can carry a jaw-dropping value of up to $17 million. A staggering difference from its face value that has captured the attention of collectors, historians, and treasure hunters worldwide, and this massive jump in value all comes down to the mysterious world of coin errors, minting mistakes, and unique variations that transform an ordinary piece of change into a once-in-a-lifetime find. Because while millions of 1994 P dimes were minted in Philadelphia, the ones that are truly worth a fortune are those that possess a rare combination of flaws, anomalies, and sometimes unexplainable minting quirks that set them apart from the rest. And it's these oddities, whether they are dramatic off-center strikes, double dies, missing mint marks, misaligned dies, or rare planchet errors, that turn them into treasures hiding in plain sight. For example, a missing mint mark error on a Philadelphia dime is unusual because by 1990 the U.S. Mint had standardized the use of mint marks on all coins, so a 1994 P dime without its P could only have happened due to a striking oversight in the die preparation process, making it instantly rare and highly desirable among serious collectors. And then there's the possibility of double die errors where the coin's details, like the inscriptions, Liberty, or In God We Trust, or even the date, 1994, appear doubled or distorted, giving the piece a unique character that is impossible to replicate and extremely valuable when authenticated. Some examples of this year's dimes are also known to have been struck on the wrong planchet, such as a smaller or different composition blank intended for another denomination, which not only creates a noticeable size or weight discrepancy but also ensures that the coin is unlike any other in circulation. And while most people may never take the time to closely examine a dime that passes through their hands, seasoned collectors know that the devil is in the details, and it's in those tiny imperfections, misalignments, and overlooked minting mistakes that unimaginable value can be hiding. The 1994 P dimes $17 million valuation isn't just about the physical rarity, it's also about the demand and the story behind the coin, because in the world of numismatics, a coin with a compelling history, such as surviving quality control despite having a major minting flaw, creates a mystique that can send auction prices skyrocketing when wealthy collectors compete for ownership, and these coins often achieve legendary status, discussed in coin clubs, featured in auction catalogs, and covered in collector magazines. Adding to their allure, in some cases the value can also be driven by the one known example factor, meaning that if only one or a handful of such era coins have ever been discovered, their scarcity alone can push their worth into the millions. And for the 1994 P dime, any combination of rare attributes like full bands on the torch in uncirculated condition, high-grade preservation from the moment it left the mint, and dramatic striking errors can combine to make it not only historically significant but also a crown jewel in any collection, which is why stories of people finding coins like this in their change or coin jars always go viral and inspire thousands to start checking their own pockets. Because the truth is that valuable coins are out there, quietly circulating, waiting for an observant eye to recognize them, and while the odds are slim, the thrill of the hunt and the possibility of finding a dime worth $17 million is enough to keep both veteran and beginner collectors scanning every detail under a magnifying glass. So if you ever come across a 1994 P dime, pay close attention to its condition, weight, diameter, and design details. Look for signs of doubling in the lettering, unusual spacing, missing elements, or a mint mark that is misplaced, faint, or completely absent. And if you suspect you've found something out of the ordinary, it's worth having it authenticated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Because if it turns out to be one of the ultra-rare era pieces, you could be holding a coin that is not just a piece of American history, but also a multi-million-dollar asset, proving once again that in the world of coins, the smallest details can make the biggest difference, and that a simple dime can become a legendary treasure capable of changing a collector's life forever. Today's exciting video where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and uncover the unbelievable story of the 2000 United States Roosevelt 1 dime, a tiny piece of American currency that in certain rare cases can be worth an astonishing $16 million, making it one of the most talked about coins among collectors and treasure hunters worldwide. And in this video we will explore exactly why a coin with a simple face value of just 10 cents could reach such jaw-dropping amounts in the open market, all due to rare mint errors, striking mistakes, and unusual mint mark anomalies that transform an everyday coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find. So imagine holding a dime in your hand that was produced in the Denver Mint in the year 2000, a year when millions of these coins were struck for circulation. Yet among these countless regular issues there exists a minuscule number with defects so remarkable that their value skyrockets far beyond imagination, and what makes this so captivating is that these coins can still potentially be hiding in plain sight, mixed in with everyday change, resting at the bottom of a coin jar, or forgotten in an old wallet, just waiting for someone with a sharp eye and a bit of knowledge to discover them. So what kind of errors could make a 2000 dime worth millions? Well, first we have to understand that minting errors come in various forms and each can drastically affect a coin's desirability and market value. For example, off-center strikes where the design is not properly aligned with the coin's surface can create unique patterns that make the coin one of a kind. Then there are double die errors where certain details of the coin appear doubled because of a misalignment in the die creation process, resulting in features like Roosevelt's profile, the lettering, or the torch on the reverse appearing blurred or duplicated, which instantly catches the attention of collectors. But perhaps most intriguing are mint mark errors, since the D mark for Denver on the 2000 dime is a key identifying feature, and in rare cases it can be misplaced, missing entirely, or even struck in a way that it appears doubled or distorted, making such examples extraordinarily rare. And sometimes a coin can have a wrong planchet error, meaning the dime was accidentally struck on a piece of metal intended for another denomination like a cent or a foreign coin, producing a weight and composition anomaly that numismatists go crazy over. And because the U.S. Mint produces coins in such massive quantities, the occurrence of any significant error is statistically rare. But when it does happen and the coin manages to slip through quality control, it becomes a valuable treasure. Now, the reason why this 2000 error dime could reach an astounding value like $16 million is because in the rarest of cases, multiple errors can appear on the same coin, creating an absolute numismatic unicorn that wealthy collectors and museums are willing to pay astronomical sums for, especially if the coin is in uncirculated or near perfect condition, because condition plays a massive role in coin valuation, with grading agencies like PCGS or NGC providing certification that can confirm authenticity and assign a grade that heavily influences the final price. And even though most 2000 dimes are worth only face value, the slim possibility that one in your pocket change could be a multi-million-dollar rarity keeps the hunt alive for collectors everywhere. So if you ever come across a 2000 Roosevelt dime, take a moment to examine it carefully under good lighting, check the mint mark, look for any doubling, study the alignment, and weigh it if possible, because sometimes the difference between an ordinary dime and a life-changing windfall is just a small but critical detail. And remember that coin collecting is not only about monetary gain, but also about preserving history, appreciating the craftsmanship of minting, and understanding the stories that these small pieces of metal can tell, because every coin carries with it the legacy of the year it was made, the place it was struck, and the people who used it in their daily lives. And when an error coin emerges from this process, it becomes a time capsule of a mistake that somehow slipped past the rigid standards of the mint, making it both a curiosity and a treasure. So as you watch this video, keep in mind that your next handful of change could contain one of these legendary pieces, and the thrill of the hunt is what keeps the numismatic community so vibrant and passionate, with stories of people finding extraordinary coins in ordinary places reminding us that luck can strike at any time. So stay curious, keep your eyes open, and who knows, maybe you will be the next person to hold a tiny 2000 Roosevelt dime that's worth more than a luxury mansion. Proving once again that in the world of coins, small things can carry immense value, both in money and in history.